Hello learners, welcome to this video lesson. Today we are going to discuss another important topic of your course. Course code is BESC 131 and course title is Education, Concept, Nature and Perspectives. Today's video title is Education as differentiated from schooling, learning, instruction, training, teaching and indoctrination. Before starting our discussion, let me to introduce myself. I, Dr. Niradhar De, Associate Professor, School of Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University, welcome you all to this video lesson. Let us go forward to know the module. As you know that in this course, now we are in the first module. The title of the module is Concept and Nature of Education, and in this module, 3 video lessons are there. The video lessons are like this. First is Education, Concept and Nature. We have already discussed this lesson in our earlier session. Then the second video lesson is Aims of Education, that is specifically individual aim of education, social aim of education and democratic aim of education. We have already discussed this title, and in this session we are going to discuss the third lesson, that is Education as differentiated from schooling, learning, instruction, training, teaching and indoctrination. Friends, you know many a time we use these terms, these words synonymously, just like we consider that the meaning of schooling is just like the meaning of learning or the meaning of instruction or training or teaching or indoctrination. Though it is related with each other, still then there is certain difference between the concept of these terms which is related with education. So, in this lesson we will try to understand the very concept of schooling, learning, instruction, training, teaching and indoctrination, and further we will also try to differentiate these concepts. Let us go forward. So, friends, let me to focus upon the learning outcomes of this lesson. There are 2 learning outcomes keeping in consideration this video lesson has been developed. First is, after going through this video lesson, you will be able to explain the concept of schooling, learning, instruction, training, teaching and indoctrination, and further after going through this video lesson, you will be able to differentiate among the concepts of schooling, learning, instruction, training, teaching and indoctrination. Friends, I am sure that after going through this video lesson and the content which is given in your self-learning material, you will achieve these learning outcomes. Let us go forward. As you know that I have already said that these are the certain concepts which are having a type of connotation, and though it seems like the meaning and the concept of these terms are same, but actually it is not same. Just like the concept that we are using in a teaching learning process in education, that is we use the term schooling, further we use the term learning, then instruction, then training, then teaching and indoctrination. Here you see, when I will say that how indoctrination is different from schooling, how indoctrination is a part of our education, then how learning is different from schooling, how learning is different from training, how instruction is different from teaching, or whether both the concept instruction and teaching are same. So, in this lesson we will try to understand with suitable examples that what is the very concept of schooling and how it is different from other concept, other synonymous concept just like learning, instruction, training, teaching and indoctrination, and how all these concepts, how all these terms broadly work under the vision and under the broad concept of education. Now, let us go forward to understand the concept of these terms, but first we will start from the concept of education. Friends, already we have discussed in our first lesson, that is education, its concept and nature. we have discussed about the narrow meaning of education, the wider meaning of education. We have discussed about the concept of education, the definition of education, the meaning of education that has been given by different great educationists and great philosophers. It may be Indian educationist or Western educationist, and we have also discussed about the very nature of education. So, keeping in consideration of the lesson that already you have studied, here we are just recapitulating it again to discuss that what is the concept of education, and further we will go forward to understand the concept of the other terms that we have used in the lesson. First of all, education is the process of development from birth to death or from womb to tomb. So, as I have already said that education is a lifelong process. Okay? So, the process of education, it starts from the very birth of the human child and it continues till the death. At every moment, at every time, at every stage of life, you have to learn certain things. Okay? So, you can get certain knowledge, certain experience from the environment where you are living, in the family where you are living, in the immediate society, in the immediate community when you are coming contact with it, and further when you are coming contact with the peers, coming contact with the groups, you are also learning many things. So, here what I mean to say, education is possible from different modes of education, at the same time from different systems of education. Just like you can get knowledge, you can get experience from formal schooling or from formal schooling system of education, and you can also get much experience from informal and non-formal system of schooling. So, that is why we can say that education is the process of development that starts at the very birth of the human child and it continues till death. So, that is why it is a lifelong process. It includes knowledge, attitudes, skills and experiences. Friends, when we talk about education is a lifelong process, it not only includes only the knowledge aspect, rather it includes development of positive attitude among the learners, development of skills, or you can say they are the life skills, because for living our life we use the life skills. So, that is why acquisition of skills, acquisition of competencies that helps us for living our life is also part of education. So, that is why this is also another concept of education, and further the experiences that we gain, that experiences helps us to understand the things and to practice the things also in our day-to-day living. So, that is why it is a lifelong process and it includes knowledge, attitude, skill and experiences. Further, education includes all efforts for inculcation of values, attitude and skills that the society desires to be imparted to children. So, it not only discuss about the knowledge, attitude and skills, rather it also includes the values. It may be democratic values, it may be empathy, it may be other types of values also. So, these values really you can say help us for living our life. And further, aim of education is for individual, social and democratic development of the individual. I have already said in one lesson, in the second lesson I think we have discussed about the aim of education. And aim of education, it caters the individual aim of education, the social aim of education, at the same time the democratic aim of education. So, that is why to understand the very concept of education, we should understand that how education help for the individual development, how education help for the social development, at the same time how education help for the democratic development of the individual, how we develop a type of attitude for democratic living, how we develop a type of attitude for practicing equity and equality, for practicing you can say for practicing a type of universal brotherhood, for practicing a type of national integration or emotional integration also. So, friends, keeping in consideration of these concepts of education, further we will proceed to understand the very concept of schooling as schooling as a concept of education. Let us try to understand. Schooling specifies mostly the formal system of schooling. That means education that we impart from the formal system of schooling, that means from the school, from the colleges, where a definite curriculum is there, where a definite time schedule is there, and everyday teachers are coming to the school, students are coming to the schools, and certain face-to-face interaction that happens in the school. So with the interaction, students learn many things, students experience many things, and further they practice that knowledge in their lifetime. And further we can say schooling is an act of consciously imparting knowledge, values and skills in accordance with the requirements, that is for the social requirement, at the same time for the individual requirement in a formal situation. So again, the meaning or the concept of schooling is also talk about the social development or the social aim of education, at the same time the individual aim of education. The process of schooling that fulfills for the development of both types of aim of education, social as well as individual development of the human child. And further, schooling is a limited educational exercise in terms of range of experiences provided. Why it says that schooling is a limited educational exercise? Friends, let me to say, when we talk about schooling, that means we talk about the education process that continues in a definite age, and it ends also in a definite age. Just like when you enter in the pre-primary education, you study 3 years in the pre-primary education, and further you take admission in the formal system of schooling, that is from class 1, and you continue till the end of senior secondary, or that you can say till the end of the 12th class of your schooling. So schooling includes this 12 or if I will include 3 years of primary education, 12 plus 3, 15 years of schooling. But knowledge and experiences that you are gaining, it is not limited, the experiences and knowledge, the knowledge that you are getting in this 15 years of your schooling life. Rather, it includes something more, just like the experiences that you gain from different other situations by using different mode, by using different educational system. Just like you gain experiences when you come contact with the society, with the community, with the immediate your immediate environment, when you are coming contact with the family members. At the same time, when you are moving from one place to other place, visiting from one place to other place, you are also getting many knowledge, you are also getting many experiences, and these knowledge and experiences really help you for your grooming and for gaining more and more knowledge and to understand this world, and further to practice your experiences and to practice those knowledge for your own development, for the development of the society, at the same time for the development of the entire world, you can say. So that's why schooling is a limited educational exercise, because it talks about only the formal system of education. But so far as education is concerned, it includes formal, informal and non-formal system of education. Further, we can say it is also limited to a specific period of human life, that is from the childhood till one leaves school, while the process of education continues throughout the life. Try to understand, I have already said that in schooling you are just involving yourself, you can say 15 years of your life, the early 15 years of your life. But when we talk about education, education is a lifelong process. So this is the difference, that how schooling is different from education. But definitely we can say schooling is, or schooling as a concept of education. Now further let us try to understand how learning as a concept of education. Friends, when we talk about learning, we are just focusing upon certain things that we do independently. Okay. So learning may be possible in a formal system of schooling, learning may be possible in an informal system of education, and learning may be possible in a non-formal system of schooling also. When we come contact with the people, when we come contact with our culture, our custom, our way of living, our tradition, our languages and the practices of our society, we also learn many things. So, that is why learning is not only possible from the formal system of schooling. I can say that learning results in more or less permanent modification of behavior as a result of practice of experience. So, here we said that there is certain learning that is only possible when we are modifying our behavior. Okay? So, after all, the aim of education is to modify the behavior, and learning is possible and learning happens when we change ourselves, when we adjust ourselves in new situations. So, that is why further I can say that learning is situational and individualistic, whereas education is inclusive and integrated. So, from every situation we can learn certain things, and learning differs individual to individual. The speed of learning for a particular person may be different from other person. So, that is why there is individualistic aspect is there so far as learning is concerned. But when we talk about education, it is always inclusive in nature. Education talks about not only a single individual, not only a single situation, rather it includes the entire environment of this world, and it includes you can say every individual, every child. So, that is why the curriculum that we develop the curriculum not keeping in consideration of a single individual, rather we develop an inclusive curriculum, an integrated curriculum, an integral curriculum for all the learners. So, that is why certain principles, certain laws, certain you can say theories, psychological theories that we follow for developing a curriculum so far as our education system is concerned. And further we can say, in contrast, education is concerned with the harmonious development of human abilities and power according to the needs of the individual and the society. So, education talks about the total development of the human child, the harmonious development of the human child. It is not only about development of a particular individual, development of a single individual. And then further we can say learning results in specific modification of behavior, while education seeks to mold the entire personality and takes a global view of an individual's ability. So, friends, global view of an individual's ability, it means it deals development of all aspects, all abilities of the individual. It may be mental ability, it may be development of the social abilities, development of intellectual abilities, development of attitudes, development of values and other aspects also. Further we can say learning may be positive or negative, whereas education is always positive. Friends, we do not know that whatever we are learning, whether it is a positive learning or a negative learning. Many a time we also learn many things negatively, but when we talk about education, it is always positive in nature. Further, now let us try to understand the another concept of education, that we can say instruction as a concept of education, and we will try to understand that how instruction is different from education, and how instruction is a part of education, and how instruction is also different from teaching. Friends, instruction implies a teacher directed process of teaching. When we talk about instruction, so our focus is a teacher directed process. That means whatever instruction, whatever direction will be given by the teacher, the students will follow it. So, that is why we can't say that it is a learner centered approach, rather we can say that it is a teacher directed process. And further we can say instruction is mostly informative and directive. Instruction may be included as a part of teaching, but instruction is not teaching. So, there is a difference between teaching and instruction. Definitely instruction may be a part of teaching. Many a time your teacher, what they do, they provide certain instruction to the students, they provide certain instruction to the learners, what to do and what not to do. And many a time instruction may be informative, but or you can say that that is a type of surface knowledge. Unless going deeper into it, unless developing a positive attitude and unless developing a right understanding, or unless developing a type of comprehension, and unless analyzing and synthesizing the aspects, analyzing and synthesizing the content points, you cannot say that you are just dealing with the knowledge. But in instruction, you can say that this is a type, or this is a simply part of teaching or part of education. And further, instruction does not follow learner centered approach. I have already said that instruction is very much teacher centered. Instruction is a teacher directed process, teacher directed approach. This is not a learner directed or learner centered approach, because in instruction we do not give importance to the learners. We do not do the things which the learners really need. We never design the instruction as per the need, as per the abilities, as per the intelligence, as per the attitude of the learners. Rather, we provide certain instruction as per our system. Whatever the teacher thinks that it is better for the learners, they only do that, and that we can say as the instruction, without considering and without keeping in consideration the learner's abilities and interest. And further, children hardly get any scope to participate and exhibit themselves in the process of instruction, as it is a teacher centered process. So that's why we do not give importance, or we do not involve children, involve students in the process of learning. So that's why we cannot say that this is a best way of teaching. Further, we can say instruction may be considered as a narrow sense of teaching. But instruction, many a time we provide instruction, but after instruction we should involve the learners in different activities. It may be a type of demonstration, it may be a type of you can say discussion, okay. It may be a type of exhibition of the students so far as their understanding is concerned. Further, the another concept that we use, that's called as the training. So here let us try to understand how training as a concept of education. Training is a series of activities involving instruction, practice, etc. to produce desirable habit or behavior modification. So here, when we talk about training, it focuses upon certain instructional process, at the same time certain practice, and by using that instructional process, by using that practice, we try to develop or we try to modify our behavior. And further, training aims at developing and promoting specific skills in a chosen area. So as an example, let you are taking a training in carpentry, let you are taking a training in drawing and painting, let you are taking a training in woodwork. So here friends, when I am talking about specific skills, so the word or the term training come into the context. So that means we call that it is a training when you are involving yourself for developing certain specific skills, and further that skill will help you for developing the life skills and for earning bread and butter and to live your life. So that's why you can develop a specific skill through certain training in a chosen area, in a micro area you can say. Then training may be related with a vocation. For example, teacher training, technical training, etc. I have already given the example, and further I can say that let teacher training is an example. Let you are pursuing a teacher education program. It may be diploma in elementary education or it may be bachelor in education. So what you are doing in bachelor of education, B.Ed, or in diploma in elementary education, you are just involving yourself to acquire and to develop certain teaching skills, and further to use those teaching skills to teach the students. So that's why when we talk about teacher training, this is also one of the example of training. And further, technical training in different technical institutions, okay. It may be engineering, it may be different types of vocational education. We also develop certain skills. So that skills come under training. So that's why we can say that training is also a part of education. But training is not all about education. And further, training is mostly imparts psychomotor development of the children. Friends, we are concerned about three types of development, that is cognitive development, affective development, at the same time psychomotor development. Psychomotor development, it emphasizes for the development of hand. That means when you are doing certain hands-on activities, when you are doing certain things, for creating certain things, then we can say that you are just developing the psychomotor skill. So that is why when we talk about training, as it is related with certain specific skills, then definitely it imparts psychomotor development. Thus training may be thought of as development of skills in a particular aspect, whereas education is concerned with the development of the whole individual. So education includes training, and training is just a part of education. And further, now let us focus upon teaching. Teaching is means employed to effect desirable changes in human behavior. Teaching involves communication of ideas, values, skills, information and knowledge to the students. Then further we can say that teaching uses systematic and scientific methods to make communication effective. Teaching aims at effective learning in individuals with a view to educating them. And further we can say teaching becomes an instrument of educating individuals along with other educative experiences. And varieties of means, varieties of methods and varieties of media are included in teaching. Friends, just to remember the classroom teaching, your school days or your college days, what you are doing every day, you are coming to the school, your teachers were teaching you. Friends, just remember when your teachers were teaching you, they are using certain syllabus, they are using certain curriculum, and by using the curriculum, your teachers were using different methods, different media. Okay, it may be face to face, it may be ODL, it may be online, and different types of methods, just like for teaching mathematics, for teaching social science, for teaching languages, and for teaching other subjects also. Teachers were using different methods and they were using different technique. Many a time they are discussing the things, other times they were just giving certain illustrations, and they were also taking you out of school also to get certain direct experience by visiting different sites. It may be historical important sites, it may be economical important sites, it may be certain cultural important places. So from there also you are getting certain knowledge. So friends, when I am talking about teaching, it includes all sorts of knowledge, all sorts of information, all sorts of experiences that you have received from the formal formal system of schooling, from the formal system of education. It includes training, it includes instruction, it includes teaching, it includes indoctrination and other types of synonymous terms that we are discussing today in this lesson. And further, indoctrination is also another concept of education. Let us try to understand what is indoctrination. Indoctrination is a process of inculcating in the learner's ideas, attitudes or a set of beliefs without entering to their rationality. So friends, indoctrination means when you are deeply inclined, when your value system, when you have developed a very positive attitude and you want to do the things. Okay, so that's why indoctrination is above than the other connotations and the other concepts that we have discussed that's come under education. So indoctrination help you to practice a thing blindly, you can say, that you have already developed a positive attitude and values. And further, indoctrination is linked with the knowledge and skills that one acquire through teaching. We have used teaching, the concept of teaching, the concept of learning, the concept of instruction, and what you are doing. All the concepts will help you for developing a type of indoctrination, inclination, your involvement, your value system, your beliefs, your ideas, your thought process. Then further, indoctrination automated the learners to follow the learning approaches, principles, maxims, methods, strategies and values of education. So the more you will involved in the system, then definitely you will construct a new knowledge, and at the same time you will be attracted towards for learning more and more, for acquiring more and more knowledge. Then indoctrination includes cognitive, affective and psychomotor domain of knowledge. Friends, when I was talking about training, it was just including only the skill aspect, only the psychomotor domain. But when I talk about indoctrination, it includes cognitive development, affective development and psychomotor development of the child. Cognitive development means development of the intellectual abilities, knowledge, understanding, application, analysis, synthesis, abilities of the child. And affective domain, that includes the development of the feeling aspect, development of the attitude, development of the heart, okay. And psychomotor development, that is the development of the hand. That means when we are acquiring certain skill by doing certain hands-on activities, by involving ourselves for creating certain new things. So that is psychomotor domain. So indoctrination includes not only the skill, not only the knowledge, not only a right attitude or right feeling, rather it includes includes all the three concepts, all the three domains, just like the cognitive development, affective development and psychomotor development of the child. Friends, just to recapitulate, today we discussed about different other concepts that come under education. We start our discussion by understanding the concept of instruction, then the concept of learning, concept of teaching, then concept of training, then concept of indoctrination. And I think now this concept, it might have clear to you that though we are synonymously using this concept, but definitely there is certain difference between these concepts, and I am very much hopeful that definitely you will use this concept in your life. Thank you.